Hey everybody, this is Steph Page with SMP TV and Truth for Thursday. And you know, I was going to take a break from Truth for Thursday today, but then I read my Bible this morning and I was reading Acts 14 and it just really struck me, and I just want to share this challenge that's challenging my heart with you this morning. So if you're ready, I'm going to read from Acts 14 starting at verse 1. This is about Paul and Barnabas on their missionary journey. So at Iconium, Paul and Barnabas went as usual into the Jewish synagogue. There they spoke so effectively that a great number of Jews and Greeks believed. But the Jews who refused to believe stirred up the other Gentiles and poisoned their minds against the brothers. So Paul and Barnabas spent considerable time there speaking boldly for the Lord, who confirmed the message of his grace by enabling them to perform signs and wonders. The people of the city were divided. Some sided with the Jews, others with the apostle. There was a plot afoot among both Gentiles and Jews, together with their leaders, to mistreat them and stone them. But they found out about it and fled to the Lycaonian cities of Lystra and Derbe, and to the surrounding country, where they continued to preach the gospel. Okay, there's three things I want to point out in these verses super fast, because I know, we all don't have a lot of time, but this is just so exciting. Okay, so the first thing is that Paul and Barnabas preached effectively, so effectively that people believed. Lord, make me effective at preaching your word to people. I want to be effective. I want to be so effective that people believe. Number two, when the Jews and the Gentiles started to believe, the ones that didn't like it, they began to stir up and poison the Gentiles against Paul and Barnabas. They were poisoning them, and they were plotting against them. And my human nature says this would be a good time for Paul and Barnabas to take a hike, right? But instead of taking a hike, they knew when to stay. It's verse 3. So Paul and Barnabas spent considerable time there speaking boldly for the Lord, who confirmed their message. So the first thing that's super cool is they preached effectively and boldly. I want to preach effectively and boldly. Lord, help me to do that so that people believe in God. The number two thing, they knew when to stay. They knew when to stay. They had wisdom. They knew that this was the time to stay and to continue speaking. Later in verse 5 and 6, it says that they found out that these guys were going to stone them, and so they left. So they knew when to stay and preach boldly, and they knew when to take a hike because they were about to get stoned, right? So that's those things. And then God is going to confirm your message. If you are doing what God has asked you to do, and if you're preaching with boldness and effectiveness, his word, he's going to confirm that. Even if there's opposition, he's going to confirm that he's working through you, just like he did with Paul and Barnabas. In verse 3, it says, Paul and Barnabas spent considerable time there speaking boldly for the Lord, who confirmed the message of his grace by enabling them to do signs and wonders. So that's my super quick thing for you today. Acts chapter 14, verses 1 through 7. Paul and Barnabas, they spoke effectively and boldly. Lord, help me. Give me, Holy Spirit, help me to speak effectively and boldly. They were wise. They knew when to stay, and they knew when to take a hike. Lord, give me the wisdom to know when to speak and when to stay and when to preach your word so that people believe, and show me when to stop, when I need to just leave and go on to somebody new. And God confirmed their message in the midst of their opposition. When you feel like you're doing what God's called you to do and there's opposition, God's going to confirm your message. He's going to confirm it by his signs and wonders, by people coming to know him, by lives being changed, by the Holy Spirit working. He will confirm the message that he's given you to preach. So I hope that you're encouraged today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.